Today we've got this awesome Beta RR500-S. Now this is a dual sport, I would say mostly off-road, but this is fully street legal. This is a super sweet bike, and as you can tell by all the goodies, the Scott steering stabilizer, the oversized fuel tank, all the skid plates and guards, this bike is super trick. On today's episode, we're going to tackle something that most people find really difficult to install, the TU-bliss tire system. We're going to go ahead and throw a set of brand new tires on this. Let's get into it. The rear axle nut on this Beta is a 27mm, and I just grab a brass punch, go ahead and tap that axle through. I use the brass punch because it's a softer metal, doesn't damage the axle. I also highly recommend investing in one of these wheel stands. It makes tire changes 10 times better, so much better than getting on the ground and hurting your knees or your back. You can adjust it to the desired height depending on how tall you are. It really makes things a lot easier. Right here you can see I'm just letting the air out of the tubeless system. Whew. Yeah, you can see there's 100 psi in this system. It gives you the option to run super low tire pressure. Right here you can see the inner orange band that runs around, and it's actually a tube that runs 100 psi, which actually gives you excellent bump stop protection on your rim. And then the outer chamber gives you the ability to run super low tire pressure. That way you can actually have a wider footprint, which gives you more traction. So it's kind of a win-win. The only downfall here is installation, but right here I'm going to go ahead and show you how to remove and install a new tire. Another benefit on running these tubeless tires, if you're way back in the backcountry and you get a flat, no problem. You can just plug them just like an ATV tire, refill the tire with air, and away you go. You don't even need to remove the wheel off the bike. Alright, first up you want to take some soapy water and go ahead and lube this tire down. Make sure you get it nice and slick. Right here you can see I'm just rotating around and just breaking it off the bead. Flip it over and break it off on this side. Right here you can see I'm just taking one lever at a time and I'm wedging it right underneath the brake rotor, and you get so far you can just kind of work it up. Make sure you take little baby bites, and I really like these red handle moose tire spoons. They're really nice to work with. They come with a really smooth rounded tip to prevent tube punctures. Make sure you have like 3 or 4 of them. And we'll go ahead and sandwich that tire and push it right off. Now we've got the new tire. We'll go ahead and soap this up, make sure it's nice and slick, and I also like to apply a good portion of this soapy water to the tubeless system. Okay, this is the part that everybody dreads, the tubeless system. Actually quite simple. You just want to make sure it's lubed up, soapy water, and you just want to sandwich the tire around the rim. Make sure you got a couple extra spoons, like I said, 3 or 4. Put some pressure on it, push it down in, and just work both sides. You can see the bead starting to come up. It kind of wants to lock in the other side, so just rotate it over. Boom, the rim slides in, and away you go. Alright, let's get this up on the tire stand so we don't have to work on the ground. Right here, I call this the gut method. I'm actually taking that third tire spoon and just wedging it in my chest. If you don't have an extra person there or an extra arm to hold that third tire spoon, that actually works pretty good. A little bit of practice. Like I say, you want to take baby steps. Make sure the tire and the bead's really well lubed up with soapy water. And we'll get that rim lock into place. Make sure that tire slides in between the rim lock and the rim. throw our Schrader valves back in, and this thing is ready for some air pressure. Right there, that first, the tubeless system takes 100 PSI, and that's what my air compressor is set at. The next one, the outer chamber, I'm gonna go ahead and set that at 15 PSI just so the bead will seat. We'll go ahead and throw our wheel spacers in, and this tire is ready to be reinstalled. And right here, I'm just taking my tire spoon and gently spreading the rear brake pads apart. Just makes it a little bit easier for the rear tire installation. Go ahead and shove that axle through, put the axle nut on, and we'll go ahead and torque that down. Always remember to pump the rear brake, make sure that's working. Last but not least, I like to clean up my mess, make sure it looks good. Oh yeah. I would highly recommend these tubeless tire systems to any dual sport rider, especially on any long distance or backcountry riding applications. Comes in super handy. If you get a flat, you can just go ahead, plug the tire, and ride on out. Already another video. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hopefully you guys learned something from this video. Also, I got to give a huge shout out to my buddy Dan, who let me feature his Beta RR500 in this video. We'll catch you in the next one. See ya.